What exactly does it mean when we say the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace? This question, seemingly simple, carries a profound depth of meaning that could take us on a journey through the heart of spiritual understanding. So let's begin this journey together. We start at a verse from the book of James, chapter 3, verse 18. It reads, "And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace." This verse, like a seed, carries within it the potential for a great tree of understanding. The concept of righteousness is a cornerstone in biblical teachings. It's an intriguing word, carrying a weight of moral, ethical, and spiritual significance. But what does it really mean? Is it simply about being morally right? Or is there something more to it? In a biblical context, righteousness often refers to a state of being in right standing with God. It's about aligning our hearts, minds, and actions with the divine will. But this is not just about following rules or abiding by a moral code. It's about a transformation of the heart, a shift in our inner landscape that aligns us with a higher truth. This alignment, this righteousness, is not something we can achieve through our own efforts alone. It's a gift, a fruit that sprouts from the seed of divine grace. And like any fruit, it has to be cultivated. It has to be nurtured. It has to be sown. And where is this fruit of righteousness sown? The verse tells us it's sown in peace. But what does that mean? How can peace be a place where something is sown? As we delve into this verse, let us understand that righteousness in this context is not about being morally right, but about being in right standing with God. The journey into understanding this verse is just beginning, and as we continue, we'll explore these questions and more. For now, let's carry this seed of thought with us, nurturing it with our curiosity and openness to understanding. The fruit of righteousness, an intriguing phrase, isn't it? When we delve into the depths of this statement, it's clear that it's more than just a poetic arrangement of words. It's a profound truth that speaks volumes about our spiritual journey. Let's break it down. The fruit of righteousness is a metaphor that paints a vivid picture of how righteousness manifests in our lives. Just like a seed that is planted, nurtured, and cared for, righteousness too grows within us. It transforms and blossoms over time, eventually bearing fruit that is both visible and tangible. But what exactly is this fruit? It can be understood as the direct outcome of our relationship with God. It's the evidence of a life lived in accordance with divine principles. It's the reflection of God's character in us. The fruit of righteousness is the manifestation of love, peace, patience, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control in our lives. These are not just abstract concepts, but real, tangible expressions of our spiritual growth. And just like a tree doesn't bear fruit overnight, the fruit of righteousness doesn't appear instantly. It's a process, a journey. It begins with the seed of faith, which is watered with the Word of God and nurtured with prayer and obedience. As we grow in our relationship with God, as we seek to align our lives with His will, the fruit of righteousness begins to grow within us. In essence, the fruit of righteousness is the evidence of our right standing with God. It's not about religious rituals or outward appearances. It's about the transformation that happens within us, the change in our character, the shift in our attitudes and actions. It's about becoming more like Christ, embodying His love and grace in our daily lives. So the fruit of righteousness is the evidence of our right standing with God, made visible in our actions and our character. It's a beautiful journey of transformation, a journey that brings us closer to God and makes us a reflection of His love and grace in the world. But this fruit of righteousness is not just grown, it is sown in peace. What exactly does this mean? The phrase sown in peace is a beautiful metaphor that encapsulates a profound truth. When we think of peace, we might simply envision the absence of conflict or hostility. But peace in its true essence is much more than that. It is a state of harmony, stability, and tranquility. It's a serene landscape where the storm has passed and calm has taken over, where the chaos of the world doesn't intrude. This is the environment in which the seeds of righteousness are sown. Now consider the act of sowing. It is deliberate and purposeful. Each seed is planted with the hope and expectation of a fruitful harvest. Similarly, sowing in peace suggests a conscious choice, a deliberate action of nurturing righteousness in a peaceful environment. This is not about passive existence, but active cultivation. It's about creating a fertile ground where the seeds of righteousness can take root and flourish. It's about steering clear of disruptions and disputes that can hinder growth, and instead, fostering an environment that encourages growth. Just as a plant needs the right conditions to grow, sunlight, water, nutrients, so too does righteousness need peace. Without peace, righteousness struggles to take root. It may sprout, but it will not thrive. But when sown in peace, righteousness can grow deep roots and bear abundant fruit. In this sense, peace is not just the backdrop, but an active participant in the growth of righteousness. It's not merely the soil in which the seeds are planted, but the gardener who tends to the seeds, ensuring they have everything they need to grow. So when we talk about the fruit of righteousness being sown in peace, we're talking about a process, a journey of growth that happens in an environment of peace. It's a journey that takes time, patience, and deliberate effort. The growth of our righteousness then is nurtured in an environment of peace. And who are those that make peace? This question leads us into the heart of our exploration. Peacemakers. They are the ones who stand in the gap, the bridge builders, the ones who seek unity over division. But let's delve a bit deeper into this concept. You see, peacemakers are not just those who avoid conflict or those who simply maintain a peaceful silence. No, peacemakers are far more active, far more engaged. They are the ones who actively work towards creating harmony and reconciliation. They are the ones who foster the environment in which righteousness can grow. Imagine a gardener tilling the soil, removing the weeds, and preparing the ground for planting. This gardener knows that without this preparation, no seed can grow to its full potential. Peacemakers are like these gardeners. They prepare the ground of our society, our communities, our families, and our hearts, making it fertile for the seeds of righteousness to take root and flourish. They are the ones who step into difficult situations, who bring calm where there is chaos, who bring understanding where there is confusion. They are the ones who listen, who empathize, who seek to understand before being understood. They are the ones who remind us of our shared humanity, of the things that unite us rather than divide us. These peacemakers, they have a radiance about them, a light that shines brightly, illuminating the path towards peace. Their actions, their words, their very being is a testament to the power of peace. They are the achievers, the successful ones, not in worldly terms, but in terms that matter most, in terms of love, compassion, and understanding. Their work, their dedication, their commitment to peace is what allows the fruit of righteousness to grow, to flourish, to reach its full potential. They create the conditions, the environment in which righteousness can thrive. So the peacemakers are the cultivators of the environment in which the fruit of righteousness can grow. They are indeed the gardeners of peace, the makers of righteousness, the builders of a better, more harmonious world. So, what have we learned today from James 3:18? Reflecting on the profound wisdom we've delved into, we can see that this verse from the book of James presents a powerful metaphorical image. It speaks of the fruit of righteousness, a yield that is sown in peace and is cultivated by those who make peace. This metaphor is rich with meaning and offers valuable insights into the nature of righteousness, peace, and the interconnectedness of the two. Firstly, we discussed the fruit of righteousness. Like a tree bearing fruit, righteousness within us produces outcomes that are beneficial and pleasing. These fruits are not just for us to enjoy, but they are also to be shared with others. They are the visible manifestations of our inner righteousness, acts of kindness, words of encouragement, deeds of love, and the like. The fruit of righteousness is, in essence, the tangible evidence of our inner moral and spiritual state. It's the positive impact we make in the world around us, stemming from a place of integrity and virtue within us. Then, we explored the concept of these fruits being sown in peace. This phrase gives us a glimpse into the conditions necessary for the fruit of righteousness to flourish. Just as a farmer sows seeds in a field, preparing the soil and ensuring the right conditions for growth, we too must cultivate an environment of peace for righteousness to thrive. This peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but it is a state of tranquility, harmony, and mutual respect. It's a state where righteousness can take root, grow, and eventually bear fruit. Lastly, we turned our attention to the makers of peace. those who actively create this environment where the fruit of righteousness can grow. These peacemakers are not passive bystanders but active participants in cultivating peace. They are the ones who sow seeds of kindness, understanding, and respect, fostering an environment where righteousness can flourish. They strive to reconcile differences, resolve conflicts, and promote harmony. Being a peacemaker is a proactive and intentional act, requiring effort, patience, and often personal sacrifice. Bringing all these concepts together, we see a beautiful picture of how righteousness and peace are intertwined. Righteousness bears fruit that is sown in an environment of peace, and this peace is actively fostered by those who make peace. This interplay of righteousness and peace underscores the importance of both in our lives. One cannot exist without the other. Righteousness without peace is like a tree without soil, and peace without righteousness is like soil without a seed. Both are essential for the other to flourish. Now let's take a moment to reflect on how these concepts apply to our own lives. Are we bearing the fruit of righteousness in our actions and interactions? Are we cultivating an environment of peace where this righteousness can flourish? And are we active peacemakers, fostering this peace in our relationships, our communities, and our world? These are not easy questions to answer, and they require honest self-reflection. But it is through this introspection that we can begin to align our lives more closely with the wisdom of James 3:18. It's a journey, not a destination, and every step we take towards righteousness and peace is a step in the right direction. As we reflect on this verse, let us strive to be peacemakers, cultivating an environment in which the fruit of righteousness can grow.